What is happening?
What's up, Brandon? How are you doing, dude?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good, dude. Welcome to an all new Planet Dirty, everybody. Dude, crazy crowd tonight. Jesus Christ. It's already
Yeah, it's
80
awesome.
already 80 people in here.
That's fantastic.
We were supposed to stream the other night, guys. I do apologize. I had some storms come through and I figured it'd be safer to just kind of, deal with that. And actually there's a storm going on right now. So I'm just kind of figuring it out, as they say. And I just figured if the power goes out, Brandon's gonna finish the
I
show.
will lead the show. I'll freeze too. I'll hold it. I'll hold the pose.
Is this working, Brandon? You're definitely hearing me from my Yeti.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat. Nuclear, Rock Music, Z Pam. Some new faces in here tonight. Chris Cullen, Brandon Houston, Vengeance, Akeem. What's up, brother? Dave Vanderhoff, how are you? Hate X, Saturn Video, Jason Morbies, Homie, Quentin, Chris Cullen. Who else we got? Prey, Justin Smith. What's up, Justin? Scratch Burno, Fight the Good Fight. Great audience tonight. Joshua Brown, Blu-ray Addict, Adrian James, Killer Pizza, Grizzly. How is everybody doing tonight? Settle in, guys. It's gonna be a fun night tonight. Let's have a good time. A few preliminary things, Brandon. Of course. How was your night? How was your day? Everything going?
It's pretty swell. We had a good shoot at work. Had a good afternoon with the kid. It was just a pretty rare, all-around smooth day. You know what I mean? So, as far as Tuesdays go, it's been a pretty good Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right?
I was about to say the same thing because of my work schedule. When I work graveyards, I'm working 2 days, right? I go to work one day, and then the next day, when I go to work one day, when I get home, it's a different day. So I'm always confused as to what day it is. I want to give a shout out, not sponsored or anything. I want to give a shout out to Fast Custom Shirts. Go to those guys' sites. You get horror movie T-shirts for $10. They're simple. They're black and white shirts. Friday the 3rd. $10, guys. Fast Custom Shirts. Tell them CHH sent you there. They should sponsor me. I want to do a little preliminary things. My birthday is April 8th. What is that then? It's 4 days from now. So that is Saturday. And Sydney always gets me my presents early. And she got me, I don't know if I've ever told people my favorite female singer. I love this woman. Naturally, I found her from a horror film. One of my favorite songs from Return of the Living Dead is obviously Tonight We'll Make Love Till We Die. That's SSQ. And that's Stacy Q, who went on to have a pretty big career post SSQ. She had Two of Hearts. You might remember that song, Brandon. Two of Hearts Tonight. Big songs. And Sydney got me a vinyl of my favorite record from Stacy for my birthday. She got me a Hard Machine, Stacy Q.
Wow.
I love this record. It's such a good record. So basically, Stacy went solo, but she kept her band with her, with SSQ. And I love this record. I love Stacy. I'm very picky with female vocalists, right? Like, I have to really love their voice. Actually, I'm like that with all vocalists. It's not even female, really. It's like I'm very, very particular with my singers. You could have a great band, but if I don't like the singer that much, I'm out. I'm done. But Stacy has one of the most angelic voices. She's such a great singer. She has this real petiteness to her voice. She's so good, though. She has like this really inviting. Anyway, guys, this is from 1988. It's called Hard Machines. And check out a song. It's called Favorite Things. And it's like this kind of love song, but it's like not a cutesy love. It's like, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So I really love that Sydney got me this. Great record. Stacy Q, guys.
That's awesome.
Check that out. I'm going to be 31, man.
Yeah, pre-happy birthday, man. That's awesome.
It is awesome. I mean, I'm kind of sick of getting older, but...
Yeah. Club old continues, man.
Yeah. I'm in the 30 gang, though, Brandon. So, I mean... At least I'm there with you,
Yeah. 30 is They don't feel as old as they make it seem like it's going to feel. You know what I mean?
No, I feel like the world's moving with us too. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a lot for people our age to enjoy. I used to feel like my parents, you know, the world had passed them by and everything was catered to me when I was 16, 15. But now that I'm 31 almost, I feel like the world is still catering to me in terms of the things I love and the things coming out. You know what I mean? And maybe that's for everybody. You just see life through that perspective that you are at that time.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. True.
Big K Movies and Games with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Thanks for the ride, CHH and Brandon. Well, dude, thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. You know what happens when we get a super chat. I've got a new one tonight.
Uh-oh.
With all these nicknames, everyone that I accumulate like 3 pounds of fat.
How many of these things do you have in your arsenal at this point, man?
Oh, man. That's the rule, guys. Every super chat we get Demon Brandon, so I totally appreciate that. Thank you very much, Big K Movies and Games.
That's awesome.
We got people in the chat telling me we're in the 50s. We have an older audience tonight, Brandon. Look at this. 33, 25, 50s. We have a beautiful audience, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Wait till you turn 54. Wow, only 31.
103 people in here right now. That's crazy.
We have a dedicated fan base. You know. So dude, let's is there anything else preliminary?
Yeah, something awesome has finally happened. Check this out. I have a new couch. Oh, you can't see it at all. But it's there, I promise.
Dude, can we see it? Can you hit the lights?
Let me see.
Hit the lights, dude. Come on, you can't tell us you got a new couch and then not show us. Look at those khakis Brandon's wearing. Dude, is that a sectional?
No, it's a super long. Yeah, I can't even show the whole thing in this webcam, but it goes all the way to the corner way over here, and there's like an attached ottoman thing.
Well,
I guess it's a sectional. I have no idea about the lingo of these fucking couches.
Dude, please do me a favor. Go. I need you to go. Just lay on that long part right there. Just stretch out. I want to see if it's long enough for you.
Okay, here, hold on.
You gotta do it. I'm turning this into a super chat clip. Oh my god, that's gonna be perfect content later on. Oh, dude, just wait till the next show. You
can pull a couple clips from that. There you go. There's some more arsenal for you. This camera's awesome. There we go.
Oh man, does it recline? Asked Saturn Video.
It does not, but I've fallen asleep on it like 5 times already. It's so damn comfortable,
dude. I have one more thing I want to say before we start talking about some anthology stuff, because I'm excited about this. Of course, guys, this is a show where you can ask questions and we chat and hang out and wherever the conversation goes. But I've got a few movies I want us to talk about right now. For like the next 24 hours, I told Sydney, because it's my birthday week, I want to give back. It's really not giving back, but it's just something extra I can do. Mm-hmm. If you've never gotten any wax melts from Unita Candles before, we just put in a 15% off deal. And when I say this is some of the best scents we've done, we've got the Universal Monster lines. We've got The Bride, we've got Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Wolfman. The Wolfman's a new one. These are all 15% off. Go get them now. It's probably going to be a 24-hour thing right now. So if you've never ordered before, go right now. 15% off. I think we have a few Blair Witch projects left. We might even have a Prince of Darkness or so left. 15 off, guys. Can't beat it. So yeah, unitacandles.com. There it is right there. Hit it.
Go buy it.
Go get them.
Do you guys still have the Planes, Trains, Automobiles one, or is that kind of like limited edition for November?
That was the thing that anything's possible. We can bring anything back. We try to make it thematic for when stuff is going on. But I mean, I doubt we'll do that for a while. Maybe not till. Excuse me. Maybe not till winter again.
Yeah, I only had the two still. We had the Krampus one and that one, but the planes and they're both good. But the planes and trains one was fantastic.
It is good.
It's awesome.
I want to ask the chat. I saw some people mentioning this. I did get a cease and desist, Justin Smith from Viacom. It's just, it is what it is, you know. They said, hey, what it was is the keywords, you know, calling it Leonardo, TMNT melt stuff. That's why a lot of companies, especially the mask companies, like that make like stuff like this, they don't put tall man bust. They put the tallest man, or like they have to, like Devil's Latex does that. They don't put Freddy Part 3 bust. They put the Dreamer, or you know, it's all you have to do all that kind of stuff. So most companies, I've reached out to some people about that kind of thing with the wax melts. Most companies, they don't care. You know, look, it's like it's a sticker that we're using with a name, Wolfman, or stuff like that. But it's our wax. We're making the wax melts. We're making the product. It's not like I'm trying to sell something that I don't own per se. Like I'm not trying to sell the movie right, or nothing like that. So it's there's ways you do it respectfully and things like that. But I did some reading. A lot of people that have done stuff trying to make home art for turtles and things like that. They said that Viacom's pretty brutal with anything like that. So that's something we learned the hard way. And they just said, hey, you can't sell. You got to take that off. So we did. We respected their wishes. We didn't try to repackage it or rename them. We just took it off. So if you have a TMNT wax melt, it's a collector's item.
Yeah. Don't melt it.
Anyway. So dude, I was going to say to the chat, what are people more excited for this month? Evil Dead Rise or Renfield? Brandon, let me ask you. I'm more excited for Renfield, man. I'm a Nicolas Cage mark.
Yeah. I just love the continued resurgence of Nick Cage. So I'm just stoked to see it because like it's a big theatrical run, right? I mean, that's fantastic.
It is. And I didn't think it was going to be that way because a lot of stuff that Nick has been doing has been coming out RLJ Entertainment and things like that. So I thought it was going to be straight to video, which wasn't going to be a bad thing because like Willy's Wonderland is one of my favorite movies he's ever done. As simple as that movie is, so good. The reason I'm more excited for Renfield is I expect Evil Dead Rise to be a home run. I expect it because as long as Sam Raimi has his fingers in that, it's a safe bet that it's going to be quality. It's a safe bet. Yeah. But with Renfield, I feel like this is going to be like, holy shit, this is going to be something for people to see.
I really hope so. After seeing the trailers, like the movie looks good from what I've seen, but after seeing Nick Cage more and more in the new trailer, I'm just like, I wish the movie had focused more on his Dracula, because what I'm seeing so far, I love the way he looks, the way he sounds, the way he acts. I hope he's in the film a lot.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the comment section. I can understand a lot of people are turned off for a number of reasons. One of them is it's a comedy. Yeah. That is right up my alley. I mean, it really is. And I think Nick Cage looks like Dracula already.
He does.
You know, he's got the widow's peak and he slicks his hair back and he's got the long, you know, pointed chin and everything. Like, to me, he looks, and he has this great Lugosi look in the trailers. Yeah. So I like I always say, you know, a horror comedy I think is the hardest thing to pull off out of any of the subgenres. I really do, more than found footage. But when a horror comedy is a home run, to me, there's nothing better than because you have to have two things for me in a sense with a horror comedy. It's got to be funny, but not almost purposely trying to be funny. And it's got to be suspenseful. Yeah, for a comedy horror movie work, that's why Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 works. That's why Return of the Living Dead is the best. It's so fucking suspenseful. You have to have the suspense. That's just as, you know what I mean? Absolutely. I think we're gonna have that. I think we're gonna have that with this. I can't see this movie being. I mean, it's Nicolas Cage as Dracula. You know, what are we talking about?
Right.
You know. So I do hope people go out and support that. I know everybody's going to do. Look, Evil Dead Rise is going to be fucking great. I am nervous about the kids, but I think you have to take that risk at this point. You know.
Yeah. I know I keep asking this question about it, and everybody's probably sick of this comparison, but do you think it's going to be Demons 2-ish?
Evil Dead Rise?
Mm-hmm.
No. I think it's going to be pretty serious.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be fairly maligned to 2013's tone.
I love that fucking movie.
Akeem Patterson in the chat, avid You Need a Candles buyer too. He said he saw it already, and he told me you have nothing to worry about.
Okay.
So,
good.
I mean, that was a big concern for me, children in this.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, look, I think you have to take a risk. I think Evil Dead, the big hurdle with Evil Dead 2013 obviously was no Bruce Campbell, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the risk? What's the risk this time? Because if you just make another story, I appreciate that. And even if the movie ends up not being great, I always like it when, as long as a movie doesn't bullshit what they're trying to do, and they reel back. If they go for it all the way and it doesn't work, I'll still respect it. I may not like the film, but as long as they go for something all the way, I'm down.
Right.
Take me on that ride. So I don't know. Owen says he saw it. It's very serious. Few jokes in there. All the kids are great. Awesome to hear, dude. Awesome to hear. So Brandon, dude, tonight's show is the Anthology Horror Night. The biggest news of the night. I want to get a thumbs up in the chat if you're getting it. Thumbs down in the chat if you're not getting it. Creepshow 3 comes out on Blu-ray, limited to 1,500. Brandon, now I know you're wanting to make a coffee table out of Creepshow 3 Blu-rays. So how many are you planning on getting?
Probably 7 or 8. You know what I mean? I've never seen Creepshow 3, so I can't really comment on it. Like, I made that meme at a good taste of the humor, but I've never seen it. I've had no interest in seeing it. I might have seen like the first
I've seen it
segment 10 years ago.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's very cheap. It's
everybody's thumbs down.
It's very cheap. It's very cheap, and it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. If I'm gonna be serious about it, it's not a great horror anthology movie, but it's just not good enough. You know what I mean? It's got the name Creepshow on it,
right?
Else. Some people, and I don't know if you've seen any of the Shudder Creepshow television show.
I have not. No, I want to, but I haven't seen it yet. No.
There are some good stories. I mean, of course, there's some duds. Of course, they can't all be good. Michael Sullivan says Creepshow 3 is a movie that exists. And Sean actually brings up where I want to start with tonight's show. Just get Tales from the Darkside. Excuse me. That's where I want to start. It's dubbed The Real Creepshow 3, but it's for obviously specific reasons. Some of the stories were going to be used for what was going to be a 1989, 1990s Creepshow 3 at the time.
Right.
And Tales from the Darkside, the movie, is one of my favorite horror anthologies, actually. I think it's one of the better. I think it's actually the last truly classic one in the sense, I mean, besides Trick or Treat, because that movie is obviously standing the test of time. But I think when you look at Tales from the Darkside, the movie, you're looking at 4 solid entries in that one. I mean, do you have a standout from Tales from the Darkside?
That movie, the segment where the woman is trying to cook the kid, that's the like intertwining story, correct?
Yes, and I forgot the band, but that the woman is a what band was she in? She was a musician though. She was in a big band.
I think the one, and correct me if I'm wrong, as a kid, I got Twilight Zone, the movie, and Tales from the Darkside mixed up all the time as far as their segments go. I love both fucking movies. They're great anthology films. But the one with the black cat and the old man, Andre Toulon, that's from Tales from the Darkside, right?
Yeah, William Hickey is the old man. Did you know he actually wasn't that old when he died? He had a disease that made him age a time and a half ahead. Really?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. Blondie, thank you, Debbie Harry. She's from Blondie.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Right.
Wow.
Tails is great. I think the best segment is the last one with the gargoyle.
Yes.
You remember?
Yes.
And there's that great moment at the end of that one. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, guys. But you know, there's that moment where the husband, he sees the gargoyle. The gargoyle says, "You can live, but you can never speak of this ever again," which I think is a great little hook, right?
Mm.
And the whole thing goes well. He meets his wife. They have the kid. They're happy. They're living in New York City. And at the very end, for some reason, he just decides to say, "I'm gonna mention to my wife that I saw this gargoyle one time," and it says, "Never speak of it." And then she has this look like, "Why did you say so?" Oh, it's a great twist.
Mhm.
Or not, it's not really a twist. You see it coming, but the payoff is there.
Yeah.
And the effects on it are really, really good. The gargoyles, because it was pre-CGI, obviously, and they had some money in the budget,
Yeah. I don't think I have that movie on Blu-ray, and that really bothers me because now I really want to watch that film.
Dude, it's great Scream Factory release. Great Scream Factory release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a segment about a mummy in that film, correct?
Lot two. Somebody in the chat, please.
I think that was my favorite one. Yeah, they get like a locked trunk or something, and there's like a
So
kind of mummy creature.
it's so preposterous, right? Because Steve Buscemi's like a college student,
Yeah.
and he orders a mummy, and the mummy just shows up to his apartment,
Right.
and then he rips open the mummy right in the middle of his dorm, and pulls out some kind of paper, some kind of ancient scroll thing. Yeah, and Christian, like Don Morton said, Christian Slater's in Tales from the Dark Side of the movie.
Mm.
What's up, Mel? How you doing? The mummy comes to life, dude. I think Julian Moore's in this too. Julian Moore's is in the first episode. Like, dude, there's
Really?
a lot of people in Tales from the Dark Side of the movie. Christian Slater, Julian Moore, Steve Buscemi. Pretty good looking mummy too.
Yeah.
There's something about the mummy, like, was stuffed with flowers or something. Like, I forgot what they did. They remember they stuffed him
There
with
was something about flowers. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all coming back to me now. That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, is a solid B plus, in terms of horror anthologies go. Good the wraparound's just as important to me.
It is.
Lot 249, Mike Mac. Thank you, Mike. So yeah, Tales from the Dark Side, that's one I still feel it's a little underrated. Like I said, I hate that term. I feel like it's thrown around a lot, but I truly feel like, Creepshow and Creepshow 2 and things like that get the love. And obviously we're going to talk about that. But I feel like Tales from the Dark Side of the movie is on that level, of that caliber. And yeah, so I just wanted to start with that one for sure. So is there anyone you want to go to next, Brandon, to kind
of? My suggestion for next would be either Cat's Eye or The Willies. One of those two, I think.
Let's go to Cat's Eye.
Cat's Eye.
Because I see a few people. We're obviously going to talk about Creepshow 2 a little bit and Creepshow 1, and I want to get the chat's opinion on what the best segments are from those. But yeah, Cat's Eye, man. Cat's Eye, I'm pretty fond of. I don't know what my favorite segment would be. Probably the Goblin.
The Wall Troll. Yeah, I know we've talked about that a little bit before, but I think that's probably one of my favorite anthology horror films. It might even be my favorite.
I got a feeling you saw it as a kid too.
I did, and there's something I watched it recently-ish. I haven't gotten the 4K yet, but I have the other version. And there's something so intoxicating about that movie. The James Woods segment with he's trying to quit smoking is insane. That party sequence with the get into the real exactly right there. That segment always freaked me out as a kid. Like, there's some crazy acid trip shit going on in that scene, man.
Yeah. I like Cat's Eye. I never saw it as a kid. I definitely feel like it's interesting because, like, the first story is like so non-childlike, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's James Woods trying to quit smoking, and the program is you're about to get close to dying, right? Anything with James Woods, one of my favorite actors, right?
He's badass.
Such a good actor. I mean, for all the people that haven't seen Vampires because they might have heard, oh, it's late John Carpenter, blah blah blah. James Woods makes that movie to me.
Mhm.
He's so fucking good. But that's not, Cat's Eye is good though. I the thing is, I forget what the middle story is. I feel like it's maybe a tad forgettable, or maybe I
The
just need to
Ledge.
see The Ledge. I figured it was something like that. But that movie was clearly packaged around Drew Barrymore and her story, right? I mean, that was the poster and everything.
Yeah.
And maybe The Ledge is good. I need to see it again. But I know the interesting thing about anthologies is like whichever ones are the most memorable are typically the best ones, I feel,
Yeah.
and I think the Drew Barrymore one, how whimsical, right?
Mhm.
And they spent a lot of money on that, as a matter of fact, because that movie came out because of the successes of Creepshows, and the horror anthology thing going on. So
yeah, that movie's crazy, and that sequence with the wall troll or whatever he's called, I didn't realize until recently that was actually a full-grown person in a suit, and they had enlarged props and stuff. I thought it was actually like a miniature puppet or something they had doing. I didn't realize it was a guy in a fucking soundstage with huge furniture and stuff.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of that money goes. They have to build those sets.
It's impressive,
like
man.
it's very expensive, right?
Yeah, it blows my mind.
Where do you build? Where do you build a bed that's twice the size of a regular bed?
Exactly. Yeah,
that's a lot of springs. Or like getting nightstands that are just like fucking gigantic. Like imagine like just having to build a gigantic nightstand. It's crazy. They had to do that in Child's Play.
Yeah, that's impressive stuff, man. CGI cannot hold a candle to these people from back in the day.
And I don't want to get too far off on a tangent, but again, going back to why I think Child's Play 1 is also the best is because Holland went there. He's like, we got to get a dwarf person to perform. Like we have to get, because I need to get that movement, right?
I hear you. Yeah.
And so, he built that set oversized, and that's a great scene in Child's Play.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, did you see Tom Holland's putting out a memoir, a big picture book on his making of Child's Play? I can't wait to get it."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like a big coffee table book, and it's filled with pictures from his making of. So
that's awesome.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Dirty needs a huge bed like that.
I will say this about Cat's Eye real quick before we move on. There's a scene in the James Woods segment where he's creeping around the house at night, and he looks into the closet and he pokes the umbrella, and you hear the guy go, "Ugh," and he looks in and you see the boots standing there. Oh, Jesus. I have a little one here. Give me one second. I'm going to go put her back to bed. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. Let me read. This is a first on the show, guys. Wait, Christian, where can I buy that Tom Holland's? Well, it just came out, Antonis. I think it's Terror Toys.
Hi.
Go to
say hi.
Hi.
Hey. I think it's go to Tom Holland's Facebook or Twitter. He's been posting about it, and you can get it from his shop. I usually wait to get them off of Amazon. All right, time to talk shit about Brandon. I haven't seen Cat's Eye rock music. Oh, dude, check it out. The Raft is my favorite segment. Personal favorite horror anthology is Nightmares. I'm gonna see if Brandon's seen Nightmares because, dude, Nightmares is a good one. There was another one about smoking in Nightmares, right? It was that that woman that wants a pack of cigarettes, and the husband's like, "Don't leave. We've got what was it? A murderer out in the town." And she has to go get those cigarettes, and then she ends up getting that, Let's see. I think of The Raft every time I go camping. Brandon, somebody mentioned Nightmares. Had you seen Nightmares?
I have not seen that movie, no.
That's a good one. Emilio Estevez is in it, and there's like a video game arcade one with him.
Oh, really?
In the mall. So it's killer. Let's see. Sometimes they come back. Anyway, Brandon, people are talking about body bags.
Yeah, that is Anthology. That's true. I can't remember a damn thing about that movie besides John Carpenter's awesome performance, but I remember liking it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's good. You've got, from what I remember, you've got 3 stories. Wes Craven has a cameo in that movie. The gas station one, which is good. And it's the woman who has, like, she's working in the shop, and then what happened? It's like she keeps forgetting, like, if she forgets the door locks, so if she walks out of the shop, she gets locked out of the room. I think Ted Raimi has a cameo. No, Ted Raimi's not in it, but you get a picture frame of Ted Raimi, who's like employee of the month or something, I think.
Nice.
And Wes Craven shows up as like a drugged out customer. He's a drifter. Yeah, Bobby. That's a good one. The second segment was son of a bitch. What was the second part of Body Bags? Oh, the guy who's going bald. Stacy Keach. And it's the guy who's going to play Freddy in that one. What was his name? The first guy who was going to play Freddy's in it. His name slips me. Something Warner? David Warner?
I don't think so. Is it David Warner?
I think it's David Warner.
David Schwimmer. Yeah, David Warner. Correct.
Yeah. And it's like his hair grew, but it was like little snakes that were like alien things. That was a good segment. But Stacy Keach is great. Stacy Keach is so good. But
He's good at everything he's in.
He is so good. Dude, he has the best scene in The Omen. You remember when he gets decapitated by the glass sheet that flies off the back of the truck?
That is him, isn't it?
Dude, that's David. Dude, he gets trashed in that movie. That's one of the best death scenes ever. You remember that?
Yes.
He's like taking photo. He's like a photographer, right?
Right. I'm looking up an image of it right now. It's so crazy. Yep, that is.
Dude, just for a second, we got to talk about this. The Omen has to be one. Like, to me, The Omen is as good as The Exorcist. I mean, I love The Exorcist, but to me, The Omen is just as good. There are things about The Omen that to me are just as shocking, right?
Yeah.
Like when the woman hangs herself and she slams into the glass. Like, it's just for you to. That's a hell of a scene. Yeah. You know. And then the priest in the cemetery where the dude.
Yeah, that's insane.
I think The Omen is just like, dude, the bee's knees. Like, and then you got to look at who directed that, which was one of the greatest directors ever. That was the dude directed everything. He did all kinds of genres too. What's his name? Big old dude. He was a big dude. He did The Goonies, Lethal Weapon.
Oh, Richard Donner?
Richard Donner.
Yeah. It's
like Richard Donner literally can do.
I didn't know he did The Omen until right now. I'm having a revelation here.
Dude. Yeah, thank you, chat. The chat will back me up on this. Richard Donner is quite possibly one of the greatest directors ever. He understood all genres and he could do them perfectly. Yeah. Look at the stuff he's done in terms of big adventure movies, big blockbusters. He directed The Goonies, right? Did just as good a job as Spielberg, maybe even better, because Spielberg was going to direct that, but he didn't.
Right.
In terms of the buddy cop movies, arguably the best buddy cop movie ever.
Yep,
Lethal Weapon. Then you go to the horror genre. It's like, dude, he did The Omen. Yep. And I think he's done more. He did a great movie. He did a really great movie that nobody talks about ever. It's called Assassins with Stallone. And Antonio Banderas is the villain. I love that movie. That has one of the darkest. Have you seen Assassins?
Not in a long time, but it was a big deal when it came out in the mid 90s or so, right?
Yeah.
Like
it has one of the 95. It has one of the darkest scenes I've ever seen in a movie. So Stallone's a hitman, and we're going to get back on track, guys. I promise. Stallone's a hitman, right? And he's a good hitman, right? And Banderas is the evil hitman, so we're really kind of shades of gray on this. The movie starts out in like this, it's straight out of a true crime documentary where they're at like this disgusting marshland area. This movie needs a 4K, by the way. this disgusting marshy swamp area, completely out of civilization. The movie starts out with Stallone and this guy out in this area, and you quickly realize this guy's out here to die. But Stallone makes him turn the gun on himself. It's like he didn't have to, like, it's a very dark scene. You know, so I love Assassins. If the people haven't seen Assassins, dude, please go check that movie out. It's, you know, Stallone gets shit for some of his 90s output, but that movie it's directed by Donner, and Banderas is a great actor too. So yeah, Assassins is fantastic. I can't recommend that. It might be one of his best movies from the 90s too. So yeah, he did Scrooged. So yeah, I mean,
That's right.
How could you not love Richard Donner? 16 Blocks. Superman. He did Superman. He did Superman.
That's right. He produced The Lost Boys. I'm still curious. I mean, I like The Lost Boys we got, but I'm still curious to see what his version would look like.
Yeah, because I read Corey. I don't know if I told people this, but I think I posted about it on my community section. I read Corey Feldman's book. I did the audio book, and he had nothing but the best things to say about Richard Donner. You know,
Good.
Just the absolute best things. He talked about Joel Schumacher cussing his ass out. You know, because he was he was doing blow.
Right.
On The Lost Boys, and he had a day where he was supposed to go to work and he couldn't get the words out of his mouth, and Schumacher, like, you know, tore his ass up and then like tried to calm down, but then all of a sudden Schumacher like truly realized, like, because this was like it made it seem like this was Schumacher's big break, right? Like this was his movie. And so Schumacher got so pissed off after tearing his ass for a second that he finally like was just like, you know what? You're fired. Get the fuck out of here. And so he fired Feldman. But then the studio was like, we can't do that.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, but he's, again, nothing but good words to say about Schumacher too. He just told the truth, which was he was on drugs.
Yeah.
So. All right, guys. So let's get into it. Back on track. Let's get into the creep shows real quick, and then we could talk about a few more. I'm interested to know which one, first of all, you think is better, Creepshow 1 or 2.
I'm a Creepshow 2 guy all the way. It's got to be Creepshow 2, man.
Have you always been like that?
I think so. Yeah. I've never really fluctuated back to Creepshow 1. It's always been Creepshow 2. Creepshow 2 also to me just feels like that perfect 80s time capsule. You know what I mean? Like with the Firebird and the second sequence and all that stuff. I guess the first sequence, right? No, the first sequence is Chief Woodenhead, but yeah, the Firebird and the Chief Woodenhead sequence, the gold one that the dude's driving in the raft. It's just something, the rate, like the music, everything about that movie is just so, it's dripping with atmosphere, dripping with it just drips 80s, man.
Yeah. Which segments in Creepshow 1 do you find the weakest?
The weakest in 1? Oh.
I'll ask you this real quick. Which one do you find the weakest in 2? And I would assume it's probably the last one.
Shit, that's hard. Yeah, the last segment in Creepshow 2 is the weakest, but it's also the scariest, I think.
It's also the most adult in a sense, right? And you know, me and Garrett did an episode on Creepshow 2 a while back, and it was funny because I think old Chief Woodenhead and the Ref wear you out as a viewer, right? Because they're a little bit longer. And by the time you get to the third story, you just kind of like, you're pretty much satisfied by the end of the raft. You know, but I think the fan favorite from 2 is the raft for sure. It seems like most people love the raft.
The raft is just, it's fun. Like you could do a whole 90-minute film with that concept. And I'm surprised they haven't really done that.
Well, what would your backstory on the raft be if you were going to make that a 90-minute?
I don't think I would make the backstory. I would fill it with just constant anxiety-ridden scenes of them trying to escape and then failing and having to swim back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like just stuff like that. Like fill the movie with action, but never give it a backstory. I wouldn't want to explain it still.
I mean, but what is that thing?
I don't know. That's the best part, right?
I'd like to know. I've always been into knowing, right?
I always it's sort of like the Blob, right? I guess it's just this thing that eats stuff.
Wasn't the Blob from outer space?
Exactly. I think he was. He comes in a meteor, correct?
Well, see, that's my explanation.
Yeah.
I don't need all the questions answered per se, but I like to have a ballpark. You know?
Yeah. Just show a little meteor strike at the beginning, and that's it. There you go. There's your whole thing.
Yeah.
My favorite segment though is Woodenhead for sure from Creepshow 2.
Interesting. And I'm assuming you've noticed like the music in 2 is a lot more childlike and whimsical, right? Than 1. And I think the music in 2 is better than Creepshow 1's.
It is. And you know what? The music is more whimsical than 1, but the addition of the guitars, like I love the guitar work in part 2 also.
Yeah.
Like in those Chief Woodenhead segments, man, like that stuff, I love that stuff. That scores. I do think it's superior to part 1.
It's totally different, right? And when you watch the movie, it's the perfect cozy movie, you know.
Yeah.
But old Chief actually kind of goes for it because they kill the old lady, the wife. She gets shot. Actually, both of them do.
That's a pretty hardcore little segment too, man. Like everybody dies in that episode. Every single person except for the old wise Native American guy. Everybody else is just murked. I love it.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that dude's in there as Sam Whitemoon, the guy from that crime show we were watching and all that stuff. Fight Club. What the hell is that guy's name? Somebody in the chat fill me in. I see the blob from the raft as a mutated animal.
I'm sorry.
A large garbage bag.
It is a large garbage bag. Do you know how they moved it? They talked about that in the special features. They had divers under it. Like
really?
Just kind of, yeah.
I assumed it was just a fishing line. Nuts.
Dude, that's a bunch of Glad trash bags.
That's awesome.
And they poured jelly on top of it. I don't know if they did. I don't know if they did that. I'm kidding.
They probably did. It's probably the same damn effect as a Tarman. You know what I mean? Just flattened down on a damn trash bag.
Yeah. No, I like the raft a lot. And it's so funny in the raft because when all the shit's hit the fan, right? And two of the people have died.
Mm.
The guy wakes up after narrowly surviving this horrible day, and his hormones still get the better of him. The better of him.
Yep.
And he attempts to try to start having sex with the other girl that wasn't his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
His girlfriend died less than 24 hours.
Yeah, horribly.
And because of that, she dies. And it's like, dude, I usually don't get aggravated, but like I get so pissed off in the raft because he makes it to shore, but he doesn't keep moving.
Yep.
So he stops, and then the thing just overtakes him. You know? Bobby's spitting facts. He says, I like how there's a no swimming sign, but yet there's a raft in the middle of the lake. What the fuck? Right. The guy gets handsy.
They do a great job in that segment of making, like when the people are getting torn apart and consumed by this oil slick thing, it looks so painful in the movie. Like they do a great job of making it look like it's actually like tearing their flesh away and stuff. Like it just looks too damn painful. I love it.
Oh yeah.
And let's point it out that the jock dude who always calls the dude Poncho, he's the best character of the whole movie.
Oh,
that guy's awesome.
He had a yellow Speedo.
Yeah, that dude.
He was rocking it, dude. He didn't give a shit.
That guy's fucking hilarious. That's like the 80s version of Trent.
Let's talk about this for a second. We'll talk about Creepshow 1. The 2 movie posters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the theatrical for Creepshow, which is kind of like the ticket booth, right? And then the Creepshow 2 poster, which is the ghoul in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Which one has the better one sheet, in your opinion?
I I prefer the part 2 poster. There's more of like a edgy's the wrong word, but I'm going to use that word just to fill in for it now. But part 1 has a more classical look that I think looks better up on the wall. If that answers your question, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're dead even. You know, I think they both perfectly match the tone that they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
I like the colors of 2, right? The blue.
Yeah.
But the thing about the Creepshow 1 is, dude, have you seen there's so many alternatives for Creepshow 1. And like the Italian movie poster for Creepshow 1 is amazing because it's the ghoul over a tombstone, right? And I'm so bummed that Trick or Treat, it's not Trick or Treat. I'm so bummed that Scream Factory isn't doing that on the reverse of the slip and not giving us the Italian poster or the French post, or the German poster. Creepshow had the coolest foreign posters of all time, but they're not doing that. And I'm just gonna say it. I might actually clip this into a short for my channel. I'm getting really pissed off at Scream Factory because I love them as a company. They do great stuff. But why do I have to? Why can't they let me buy a package that's the new artwork? I can, let's say this, for $30, I can get the 4K with the slipcover of the original art. For $35, I can get the new slipcover, which is the new commissioned art. Then for $40, I can get the original artwork with the original poster. For $43, I can get the newly commissioned artwork with the newly commissioned poster. Have different options for people. No, you have to buy both slipcovers, both posters, no options. It's all or nothing. And the only thing they're doing this time that's different is you can get all that and then spend $99 more to get pins and stickers, or $130 to get all of that plus like another die-cast card or something.
Dude, how about this? How about for somebody like me who doesn't like slipcovers at all, give me a $15 option to just have a bare bones regular case without any fucking slipcover.
See, Vinegar Syndrome does that. So that lets you know it's possible. Vinegar Syndrome does that. And as a matter of fact, I've taken advantage of that. Like I've skipped out like ticks. I was like, you know what? I'm going to save $6. I'm not going to get the slipcover. I don't care to have it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need it. You know, it just sucks. Give us, like, if you give your audience options, they will thank you for it every time. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to get the movie from Amazon. And I'm just going to wait and get the original slip art. And it's sad because I'm going to be honest with you. I actually think that the artwork done for Creepshow is gorgeous. I really do. I think I think it's a home run on the artwork. They did a great job. It's colorful. It's very retro. It's comic book style. They did a great job. And it's just a shame because Brandon, I get my package in and I open it up. I'm so excited. Here's Creepshow on 4K, one of the best anthology horror movies of all time. Oh, look at the original poster slipcover. This is awesome. Then you got the new one. This is great. What do I do with the other slipcover now? Do you rotate them? Do you put one on for 1 week and then next week? Oh, it's Monday. Hold on, honey. I got to go swap the slipcovers on Creepshow too. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't understand.
What does anybody... Why do we need... Who wants 2 slipcovers?
I don't know. The slipcover game is something I'm never going to understand at all. So,
I mean, it's like... My point is this. I understand business because I see Bryden says companies got to make their money too. CHH, you don't have to buy it, man. You're totally right. My thing is this: you're gonna go if it's limited. You know, if those new slipcovers and stuff are limited, I can tell you how you can sell out even faster. Give people the option to say, here's a package. Get the 4K with the newly commissioned slipcover and the poster. You know, Brandon, do you know how quick it would sell out that way? And you charge a few extra, you charge $5 more. Like I said, and then have an option of the original slipcover with the original poster. Make those 2 separate options. You're going to go through those like nothing in a day. But it's all or nothing with these packages. And it just sucks to me. It just sucks to me. Who needs 2 slipcovers for Creepshow?
Nobody.
What are you going to do with it? You know? And I got to be honest, I'm kind of in a rock and a hard place on this because I think the chat would actually agree. Creepshow is a movie a lot of people probably don't have an issue rebuying. It's an event, right? It's Creepshow. It's one of George Romero's best movies he ever did, right?
Yeah.
That Blu-ray release Creepshow did is probably one of the best releases they've ever done. It's in a hard. Have you seen it?
No. Oh man. What are the slipcovers even for? I still haven't figured out what the slipcovers actually do. They don't protect the case. Like, what is the extra step for? I'm never going to understand slipcovers.
Like, dude, they're making it hard to even upgrade. This is a hard box. Look at this. I mean, it comes with a booklet, and it's all about the making of and things like that. And you know, they gave you the classic artwork on there. I mean, so I'll be honest with you, and it's a 4K scan. So I'll be honest with you, if there's no new special features, this is a 4K scan Blu-ray. Okay, this is if you have a QLED OLED TV, this is probably good enough. But the thing is, it's a checkmate, right? It's Creepshow, and I'm victim. I get it. I love this movie, and if there's a chance to see it even a smidge better, this is a movie I rewatch so often. If time is money, Brandon, let's say my time is worth $5 an hour, just my own personal time for myself, I'm going to get my money's worth out of a repurchase of Creepshow. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know. Give your audience options. Give your customers options. Give them options, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you need a candles as a nothing burger compared to Scream Factory, obviously. But I always, when people say, hey, can we work? Can you guys do this, do that? I listen, right? And I try to make it happen for them. You got to keep your customer base happy. And who am I to say that Scream Factory is doing anything wrong, right? I mean, they're obviously successful. It's just, zero people, nobody in this chat would complain if Scream Factory said, hey, you can buy, and we'll move on after this, right? But nobody would complain. Nobody in this chat would say, you know what? It really sucks that I can't just buy both slipcovers at once in one per. If they sold the posters and the packages separately, they're going to sell out a lot quicker. So if you want that new artwork, you better get it. But
right, it
just sucks, man. Like, so I have to stop myself. I'm not buying 2 posters and 2 slipcovers.
Yeah,
just ridiculous.
Anyway, it's not worth
it. There's the last thing I'll say about Creepshow is obviously, or I guess we never really talked about it, but I think the best segment is something that tied you over, not anything, with Leslie Nielsen getting revenge on his ex-wife or whatever.
Yeah,
who's moved on. That one's really good. But you know what's really good from Creepshow? It's kind of like the sleeper in Creepshow is the cockroaches. The guy in the apartment, right?
Yeah.
Because that's all legit. That's real cockroaches.
Right. Yeah. If you don't feel itchy before you watch that segment, you're going to feel itchy after it for sure. You asked me what the weakest segment in Creepshow was, and I can't think of one that I would consider weak.
No, I don't think there is one.
If I say which one's the weakest, it's going to take away from it too. So I don't even know if I want to say it.
And the thing about Creepshow that I think works so well is more segments. I think it actually works to the benefit of Creepshow as opposed to Creepshow 2 having less. Because like I said, I feel like Creepshow 2, as a viewer, you're totally satisfied, right? By the end of the raft. So a lot of people, they don't talk about the hit and run. It's a good segment. But with Creepshow 1, it is small appetizers, one after the other. And as soon as you feel like you've got what you need, let's move on.
There's 5, right? In Creepshow 1, 5 segments.
Where's my cake? Something to tide you over.
Right. The roach one.
Meteor shit.
Meteor shit.
The crate.
The crate.
And then the roaches.
I think
I'm gonna be honest. Go ahead, but I was gonna tell you what my least favorite is,
My
Brandon.
least favorite, and I hate to say this because it's still a good segment. Every segment in that movie is good.
Agreed.
The weakest one that I enjoy the least, I think, is Meteor Shit.
You know, I like that one a lot. You know, I'll tell you what
Yeah.
my least favorite is. It's actually
Father's Day, isn't it?
it's the crate, and it's not
Ah.
Tom Savini did some of his best work there. I think that's actually he's talked about that's one of his favorite things he's done. The crate for me just sticks out. Not it almost sticks out like it feels like it feels like the story that isn't in tune with the rest in a sense to me.
Mm.
It's so good. I almost feel like the crate could have worked as good. I think I almost feel like you could have taken the crate and put that in Creepshow 2. And that would have been like the perfect closer for Creepshow 2 as opposed to the hit and run stuff.
Do you think the crate would make, because we talked about this with the raft from part 2, do you think the crate would make for a good 95-minute movie in itself?
No,
There's
because
so much shit you could do with that. Like have the creature get loose in the fucking
you
air
could, but
ducts.
the problem is this. I actually agree with Saturn Video. I do feel like the crate drags a hair. I do. And that may just be me because I know a lot of people. And again, Tom Savini did such a good job on Fluffy, right? I think the one that you make a movie out of in Creepshow 1, honestly, I don't know that I really don't know that you make a movie out of any of those. I think that they are truly suited as segments so well.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're just dragging your feet if you try to make some of those 90. Like, what are you going to do with Jordy? You know what I mean?
That would be, I would be like ripping my hair out at the 35-minute mark if that was an extended fucking segment. The Meteor Shit segment.
You know, Tom Atkins was supposed to do that. And Stephen King wanted to do that instead. And it's so weird because Tom said that Stephen King was really worried that he was going to slap his kid too hard. So you almost figure that Stephen King would have wanted to play the dad to his son. Is that Joe? Is that what's the son's name that did Black Phone? Right. That's what's Stephen King's kid's name?
Oh, let me look that up real quick. He did Black Phone? I didn't realize that.
He wrote Black Phone. That's Stephen King's kid.
No shit.
I wonder if that's him. Right?
Scott
Joe
Derrickson?
Hill.
Oh, Joe Hill. Okay.
Joe Hill. So is that Joe Hill in Creepshow? I need to know this. I'm assuming he has more than one kid.
I don't see acting credits for Joe Hill. I don't think so. I'm going to say no, but I could be wrong.
Damn it. Because that'd have been cool if that was actually Joe Hill.
It could be. This Wikipedia article on Joe Hill is really confusing. It's all over the fucking place. Anyways.
Some people are saying it's him in the chat. Is Joe Hill like not his actual name? I'm assuming not.
I don't think so. I think it's like his stage name. He has no acting credits listed on IMDb, so I'm assuming no.
How old is he?
No, it is him. He plays Billy in Creepshow. You were right. Fucking A.
So that's the Black Phone kid getting slapped by Tom Atkins.
Right.
You know.
I never would have put that together ever. I never would have ever pieced that together. Dude, that's insane. I'm having kind of like a mind fry moment right now.
Brandon, I heard you talking about your Scream 6 video, which you liked. Did you not get this at the theater?
No, they didn't have those when I saw it. They had another souvenir cup that I got, which I don't have in here right now, but it's like a plastic big cup with the logo on it and the Scream mask and stuff. It's still a cool cup. It was only like $2 or $3, so
nice. You know, there's another. Let me grab the Blu-ray because there's another horror anthology I want to talk about. I forgot the name of it though.
Oh man.
Actually, I hope the people are ready for some deep cuts. I don't know where the Blu-ray is for this one, but this is the one I want to talk about, dude. And actually, I actually recommend this movie. It's called Terror from Beyond the Grave.
Damn.
Have you heard of that?
I remember seeing that VHS all the time. I never rented it. I've never seen it.
It's good. It's good. It's got some good segments. Guess who's in this? Too. David Warner.
Oh, nice. Wasn't that called something else over here? Wasn't it called Frightmares in the US, or am I wrong?
Frightmare was...
I could have sworn that was called Frightmare over here.
Okay, are you ready? No. All right, don't do nothing, Brandon, because I'm gonna teach you something crazy. Okay? What you're confused about is not the movies, but the artwork.
Right.
Okay, let me do this for a second, okay? All right, people. So look, I got totally, my jaw hit the floor at this. You guys ready to see something crazy? I don't know how this happened, how this got pulled off. So this is Terror from Beyond the Grave. It's an early 70s anthology movie. It's really charming, really good. David Warner's great in this. Go check it out. This is the Warner Archive Blu-ray. Go pick it up. Go on Amazon right now and grab it. Look at that artwork. Do you like that artwork, Brandon?
I love it. It's fantastic.
Okay. Oh, we got a super chat. $2 super chat. Big K Movies and Games and Creepshow 2. Laverne has a shirt to the college in one. Oh, what a weird tie-in. I've never paid attention to that, Big K. That's crazy. Thank you for the $2 super chat, though. It is time for a demon clip. Are we ready, Brandon?
I'm ready. Oh, no. The best part of eating corn on the cob is when like shit sprays out of it and you hit somebody in the eye with the water. It's a new classic already.
Thank you so much, Big K. That's awesome. No, we did not talk about Tales from the Hood. That's going to be the closer of the night. Are you kidding me?
That's a fucking great one.
Okay, so I saw the poster for Tales from Beyond the Grave, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is so cool. Yeah. That's really cool. So then let me pull up Google. Now we got to go to the Google machine.
Trusty Google. Trusty Google.
All right. This just threw me for a loop when I saw this. Make sure I got the share audio tab off. Okay. So this is the poster for Tales from Beyond the Grave, right? Let me see if I can hang on. That's not what I want. Let me get this to where people can see it. Where's it at?
Hell yeah.
Okay. So there's the poster from Tales from Beyond the Grave, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I'm thinking to myself, why does this look familiar to me? Then there is an 80s movie called Frightmare that I got from Vinegar Syndrome.
Yep, there it is.
What was interesting to me, though, was I had this weird moment of thinking this is ridiculous, you know? Because I was like, I remember looking at Frightmare. I was like, well, that's the poster. Now let me grab something, Brandon, so I can show you something. All right, so let me make me big for a second. Well, I don't know if it's going to do it. Just do this. So I got Frightmare from 88 Films, and I was like, I thought I was losing my mind. I was like, no, this is the artwork for Frightmare. Why do I feel like I've seen that poster before? Sure enough, Frightmare had two artworks. This was like the UK artwork, I think. and it's kind of better, to be honest with you. The coffin in the hands. But then sure enough, I have this poster. I'm going to frame it one day and show you. They completely lifted the image of the skull from Tales from Beyond the Grave on for a Frightmare poster. I mean, it's not even like debatable. It's completely lifted.
Yeah, so Frightmare, that was the VHS I saw in Videoland as a kid.
That's a different movie.
Are they both anthologies?
No, this is not an anthology.
Okay, so yeah. Wow.
This is a totally different film. So like this is nuts to me. Like what is I wish I could talk to somebody to explain this.
Yeah.
Explain yourself. That's the skeleton with the snake and the knife through his head.
It's the same exact thing. That's why it rang a bell in my head, that visual image.
What is going on? You know,
that's nuts.
Between the two movies, I'd say that Tales from Beyond the Grave is better. Frightmare's not bad though, especially this is Vinegar Syndrome put it out, and it's kind of like a movie about, you know, this horror icon. Like I think they wanted to actually use Christopher Lee, but he didn't want to do it, and they couldn't use his likeness. They create like this horror icon guy that they bring back from the grave, and you know, I actually got this from 88 Films because they're cheap. You can get all their stuff, you know, way cheaper online. But anyway, let me get rid of that. So yeah, so that just threw me for a loop. I just crazy to me that they completely lifted the skeleton. Like, how does that happen? Don't you want to know? That's a decision that was made.
That's confusing now.
You know,
I assumed it was just the same movie with a different title, like Overseas or something.
No, that's what I thought for a second, and then I was realizing, I was like, oh, I'm just imagining this. This never happened. Then sure enough, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, a little bit getting back onto the anthologies. People were talking about Tales from the Hood, and I gotta say, I think that's one of the best.
It is
ever.
Absolutely, inarguable.
What's your favorite segment from Tales from the Hood?
Ooh, fuck. Damn, they're all so good. I guess the one with the dolls has to be my favorite.
With Corbin Burnson as the mayor.
But, yeah. Is he the mayor, or is he like he's running for governor or something, right? No, I guess he's the mayor.
It's some kind of political thing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a freaky episode. But
because that like it was like a slave doll or something, right? Like a voodoo doll.
I think they were the souls of the slaves who had been at that specific plantation. And the old lady had like transferred the souls into the dolls with voodoo or something, I guess. And
it's a freaky looking like the stop motion of it running.
Yeah, that's a crazy ass sequence. But with that said, I think the first segment with the was it Clarence, and he's the guy who watched the political guy get killed by the cops, and he comes back as like a zombie.
Yeah, he's like a civil rights guy that gets beaten down by racist cops.
Right. That segment is so creepy. When the guy's up on the wall and he's telling Clarence to bring them to him. That shot is so freaky to me. When he's on the wall and he's slowly saying, "Bring them to me." That shit is so creepy.
That has, and Tales from the Darkside has a killer wraparound sequence too with the I forget the guy's name, but he's got the space between his teeth, right? And he's like the
funeral parlor guy.
Yeah, hysterical.
Yeah, the shit.
Super funny.
Yeah, that movie is so damn good. That has a flow to it that is unmatched, man.
What about? And it's kind of deep subject matter, but like, you know, the segment with the abusive father.
Yeah, it's a pretty deep and powerful segment. I get the symbology of it. You know, the abuse at home, the abuse in the home and stuff. But honestly, I think that's probably the weakest story in the movie. It's still damn good, but out of all the segments, I think it's probably the weakest as far as creepiness and scare factor goes.
What other ones are so in Tales from the Hood? You got
the Clarence one with the zombie guy. You have the dolls. You have the monster the abuse one, and then you have the rehabilitation segment.
Oh, dude, the rehabilitation segment visually had some amazing stuff in it. Yeah. Visually, I actually think that one is the weaker one. Mm-hmm. But then again, I think it's also could be a little bit of Burnout too. No, it's not true. It's not Burnout because the Corbin Burnson one I think is my favorite. With the plantation and all, and the dolls. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's always a slippery slope because I think he has to say the N-word in that. Corbin does, and in the special features, and I agree. Like if you're acting and you got to do a job and you're representing a character like that, you've got to do your job. I understand that, but Corbin talked about every time he had to say the word, he went up to everybody in the cast and crew and it's like, listen, I have to say it. I'm sorry, and they're all like. He said all the cast crew were like, dude, we get it. Like, chill out. Yeah. Relax. Yeah. We understand. You're not racist. You have to say the word. You're playing a character.
Yeah.
I remember Leonardo DiCaprio talked about that, like with Jamie Foxx and all them. Jamie's like, dude, you gotta do that's the role. You gotta do it. But I get it. I mean, that'd be so awkward having to do that, but
it would be.
And those guys, didn't they go on to direct Demon Knight?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. That's a good question.
Google that for me. I want to say those guys directed Demon Knight.
No,
it's like two dudes, right? Yes. Yeah. Tales from the Darkside, Tales from the Hood 2 is not that great. I haven't seen 3 though. People say 3 is better.
It says Demon Knight was directed by Ernest Dickerson, who did not direct Tales from the Hood. I don't think. Tales from the Hood was directed by Rusty Cundiff. I'm probably saying his name wrong.
Where did I see these guys before in something? I must be just getting confused. Anyway, do you going back to Tales from the Hood? Do you find the ending of Tales from the Hood a little hokey, where it's like the big over the top CGI?
Yeah,
demon?
It really is hokey and over the top. As a kid, I thought it was so cheesy and cringeworthy, but now I love it because it works so well within the context of that film. You know what I mean? It's almost like they made it look like that on purpose. They probably didn't. I'm sure it was the budget and the limitations of CGI and stuff at the time, because that was like what, 94, 95?
Yeah, mid-90s.
But it just fits it so well, I think.
Do you have that Scream Factory Blu-ray?
I do. That's one of the ones I do have.
Yeah, that's a great release.
Yeah,
awesome. I think everybody would get that on 4K. Like people would probably lose their, if Tales from the Hood get a 4K, people would be like, screw Creepshow.
That movie has a killer soundtrack too, man.
Oh yeah, because that's the kind of hip hop stuff I liked back then too.
Yeah,
they
should re-release both. Release it on vinyl. Do all kinds of crazy stuff. That would be a big hit.
It's funny because Scream Factory put out that Snoop Dogg movie Bones a few years after Tales from the Hood, and I was like, oh, I'm excited to watch this. Dude, that movie, I thought it was terrible.
I watched that movie religiously when it came out in VHS. I had the VHS for a long time.
It's a killer cover with the red Snoop Dogg face.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, but it is not a good movie. It's not. For some reason, it was just in my house and I watched it a lot, I guess. But it's not a good film.
Yeah, I thought it was just pretty lousy.
It's pretty lousy. It's boring too.
I
feel like Blockbuster had like 14 copies of that movie for some reason.
Well, they probably did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Snoop Dogg, you got to give it up to Snoop Dogg. He has consistently been able to stay in pop culture. Mm-hmm. The last big hit I know of him was, Pop It Like It's Hot. Was that like 2003? Like I don't know what music he's releasing anymore, but like he stayed in pop culture, so he just understands the game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you gotta respect that. I mean, he was the host of WrestleMania this past weekend. How cool was that?
Yeah. Speaking of Snoop Dogg, he is in pop culture, man. He did a reggae album a few years ago called Snoop Lion.
I tried listening to that. I didn't.
It's kind of cringeworthy. We were listening to kids songs in the car with Isabella on one of the stations Shanna has for kids songs, and a song came on and it was being sung by Snoop Dogg. This is a kid's song, but he was singing it. She's like, "That's Snoop Dogg." I'm like, "Dude, yes, it is. Vampire from Brooklyn."
Wes Craven, right?
I think so. I don't think I've ever finished that movie, Vampire in Brooklyn. I think I've seen the first 3/4 of it and I turned it off, and then never went back to it. So, yeah.
Sydney has a cookbook called From Crook to Cook, the Snoop Dogg cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he's a good villain when he wants to be too.
Dude,
he plays a good villain.
What we talked about this for a second, and somebody wants me. Brian, I'm assuming you're not a wrestling fan at all, right?
I appreciate it, and I enjoy the.
You can say no; it's really not a big deal.
No, I'm not. I actually really enjoy the what's the word I'm looking for here? The theatrics of it and stuff. But I've never really been an avid watcher of it. But no, I don't dislike it. I don't think it's stupid or anything.
I mean, well, of course, WrestleMania was this past weekend, and I'll give people my 2 cents. I enjoyed it. I get tickled whenever the good guy loses on a big match, like what happened where Cody lost, and all the people on Twitter say it's bad booking, it's bad writing, they didn't pay it off right. Like, I miss being a kid before the internet, where when the bad guy won that we didn't like when Triple H beat The Rock at a pay-per-view, me and my friends and family were just like, that bastard Triple H, oh man, this sucks. I really wanted The Rock to win. I miss the innocence of that. Now everybody is, such a professional and behind the scenes person. Now everybody's like, oh, bad booking. The writing's bad. They really didn't do a good payoff. Like Triple H is so out of touch. Like, everybody talks like they're in the wrestling business. I can't stand it. I can't stand the way people talk about wrestling now. And it's like, it's because it's so perpetuated in interviews. All they have now is called shoot interviews, and all these podcasts where all these wrestlers talk about all this stuff. And, so everybody that's a fan talks like they work in the wrestling business, right? They all say the same crap. If the writing was well tonight, there could be a good payoff, but we'll see what they end up doing with it. It's just like, just be a fan, for God's sake. Just say, damn it, I wanted Cody Rhodes to win. Damn it. What the hell, man? This is crap. But instead it's, the writing is just piss poor with this. Like, what do you know about the writing? What do you know about the writing?
So you're saying basically the fun's gone, basically.
Well, not for me, because I have no problem watching wrestling and treating it like a movie, right? I have no problem watching wrestling and being like, oh, that was fun. I'm so bummed Cody didn't win the belt. Oh, son of a bitch. And then Brock Lesnar jumped him on Monday night. And then, it was even worse. People are just like, they're burying Cody, which is a wrestling term, right? Burying means like they're making him look weak, and now people are not going to want to cheer for him. It's ludicrous to me the way people talk about wrestling. Like I hate all these terminologies, right? It's just like, I wish people would just relax and be like, son of a bitch, when is Cody going to win? And just enjoy it, It's insane to me. Hey, kiddo.
I have a visitor one more time. She wanted to come say goodnight real quick. Say goodnight, Mr. Christian.
Good night, Mr. Christian.
Good night.
All right, say goodnight to everybody in the chat.
Sleep tight.
Say, I'm going to bed for real now.
I'm going for bed to bed for real.
All right, go get mommy, okay?
Good night, kiddo.
Got it?
Thank you, Dino. $5 super chat. Love that tall man bust behind you. Peace. That's the tall man from Creation X Studios. Look at that thing.
That's awesome.
The funeral is about to begin. Yeah. You know what this means, though, Brandon? We got a $5 super chat. It's time for a clip.
Daddy, I want ice in that. I want ice in that.
All right, here we go.
Go get mine.
I want ice in that.
Listen to me. The next time you have to theater, buy a box of milk duds or sneak them in, and go to the hot butter and drizzle it all into the box of milk duds. It is the best thing you'll ever have in your life.
Thank you, Dino. Oh, man.
Now I just want popcorn.
Listen to me. Oh, we got one from Robert A.
Uh-oh.
Robert A with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Robert A. Don't know if you mentioned them, but Southbound and Trick or Treat are my favorite horror anthologies. Creepshow never really did it for me. We never talked about Southbound or Trick or Treat. So thank you for bringing those up, Robert A. Good taste, brother. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Time for another clip.
Make it with just the kernels, add your salt in there after it's finished, and instead of shaking it up with that popcorn butter oil stuff you're talking about, use some grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil and salt, it'll change your life. I swear to Christ. With all these nicknames, everyone that I accumulate like 3 pounds of fat.
That is a classic.
Hold on, Brandon.
With all these nicknames, everyone that I accumulate like 3 pounds of fat.
Why the crash zoom is so intense, man?
With all these nicknames, everyone that I accumulate like 3 pounds of fat.
I don't. It was just a creative choice. Oh, Brandon. So for all the people watching, I actually found grapeseed oil today, but I had to basically buy into the company because the price on it was so expensive. Because it was no, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't buy it? Okay.
I'm not buying a $17 thing of grapeseed oil, right? It was. I know it'll last a long time, but it was massive. Like I couldn't find a small one. You showed me one that you had, and it looked like it was probably like $7, whatever you had. It was smaller.
Yeah. It was pretty cheap.
Is it a high-end cooking oil?
I don't think so. I mean, like the one that we have is a great value, so it's a Walmart brand. So there's some,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hopefully I find it soon.
It may not be everywhere yet. I don't know. Maybe it's not really, because it might be a new thing, I guess. I don't know. I never heard about it before, this popcorn shenanigan. So
anyway.
Oh man.
Now I'm gonna have to clip you dancing on the couch and I'll put some of my own music to it or something.
Put the Tales from the Hood soundtrack on it.
Man. Brandon, Michael says I missed the call-in streams, dude. I've been thinking about doing it again so much.
It's too bad there's not a way you could pre-screen. You know what I mean? Like to avoid those incidents. How would you do it?
Well, here's the thing. It's like I wish I could get like an okay from every single one of my viewers that they wouldn't hold it against me if somebody called in and said a racially or sexually charged word. If they were like Christian, like if everybody could agree, that's the problem. I've talked about this because me and Nick have had countless conversations about this. If I have, and I have black viewers, I have gay viewers too. If somebody calls in and says the F word, and I'm not talking about F-U-C-K, you know what I'm talking about? And they just scream it. I would feel bad. Now, some of my viewers that are gay would probably say, don't bother me. What do I care about this idiot? Right. But I don't want any of my viewers to feel like I'm perpetuating it by having it happen live and then leaving it up on my channel. You know, and it's just, it's too slippery of a slope.
Yeah.
And I get it. I wish this was Howard Stern, right? Where I could just let it rip and everybody was we could all make fun of the idiots that do this kind of stuff. It's too slippery. And then I have to worry about my channel getting taken down.
Yeah, because that's the thing is everybody here might be okay with you and, excuse it, like, because it's not your fault. But some jackass comes along that we don't know
and clips
flags your video or something. Yeah, exactly.
Clips it like CHH allows
out of
people
context. Yeah,
it's too much to risk, and like I get it. Now I am working on doing this for live Unita podcasts, where if you're a patron to me, I'll put a phone number. I'm working this out. I'm going to put a phone number in. I'm going to make a phone number post for patrons, and it's going to be different every time. It's not going to be my own number. I'm going to do a Google number thing. And I'm going to say me and Nick are recording an episode from blank to blank. When I drop the phone number, call into the show, and you can ask questions and be a part of the show. That way people can be involved in it. Like, I get it, dude. It was the wild fucking West when I was doing those calls. It was the Wild West. it's a slippery slope, and I understand it. I'm trust me, all the people that tell me they miss it, I'm with you. I'm working on it. I have to do my due diligence, and I know that people wouldn't. I know that most people wouldn't hold it. It's really not the people. So like that's really not really the thing about it, because I think most people would say, like Christian, like. No, like Don Harrison just said, you can't help ignorant people. Nobody's going to be like, Christian, you're racist because somebody called out and yelled the N-word. Like, now, if I laugh at it or think it's funny, then I look like an idiot too. And of course, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to laugh. It's because it's happened. You know what I do? I hang up the phone and I apologize to my viewers. I'm like, I'm sorry. The guys, did you know that one of those guys called me and left me a voicemail?
Really?
After all this was said and done, I got a voicemail from somebody. I never called them back because, look, whoever that was, I don't accept your apology. But I'm not gonna, disparage you as a human anymore. But I don't accept your apology. And it's just I'm moving on. I'm not gonna hold the ill will towards you. I don't know the person's name or anything. They called me up and just said, "Hey, I feel really bad. I was the guy that called in and did that." They never called and apologized for saying a racial slur. They said, "I'm sorry that I kind of messed up your show," and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like, dude, you yelled the N-word on my show. Like, I have black viewers. I know I do. I talk to them. And like, not that even matters, but it makes it even worse. Like if they're watching that, they don't want to hear that. So the fact that his apology was not even, hey, you know what, dude, I'm not like that. I'm not racist. I was trying to be funny. It wasn't even that. He just said, I'm sorry. I threw a wrench into your show. That's what really aggravated me. Like, dude, take accountability. It's not funny to yell, so I didn't call the guy back. I just blocked his number, but I can't do it. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I really am sorry. It just is what it is. So I'm working on making it a thing, but it has to be safe. It has to be vetted. I have too much to lose. But anyway.
I hear you. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what kind of clown do you have to be to call up and do that kind of shit in somebody's show? Like, it's just you're starting trouble. They're doing it just to be assholes. So.
And I'm trying to do a fun thing for my viewers, right? And dude, I had some amazing callers.
Yeah.
Right? I had some great callers.
I think we heard it. I think you guys ended the stream after that Kiss show. I hopped on in a comment and you said call up, and I was gonna call up, and I think somebody called in and dropped an N-bomb, and then you guys cut the show off or something. I think because of it. I don't know if you guys cut the show off or you just called up on the caller.
It never happened on Unita. It was me doing the show myself.
Maybe that's what it was, but I think you cut it off or something.
It's just bullshit, man.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm working on it, though. I promise I'm working on it. Because here's the thing. Let's say this is my idea I had. Let me vet the caller. But the thing is, I'm on a live show. I can't say, okay, guys, I'm going to mute my mic on here so you can't hear me while I talk to the caller for a few seconds and be like, you're not going to say anything, are you? And they're like, no, I just want to talk. Who's to say that the second I talk to them for a second, and then because I use my microphone and stuff for my audio through the phone call, so I can mute my mic on StreamYard and I'm still using my mic to talk to the person in my headphones on the call, and they can be like, hey, this is such and such. Yeah, I have a question about this or this. I'm like, okay, you're not going to say anything, are you? What's going to stop them being like, no, of course not, man. I swear. And then I turn my mic on back here and I bring that call into the stream and I say, okay, guys, we have blank on the phone. And then he yelled like that's more than likely to happen. Yeah. It's more than likely to happen.
Yeah. People want to cause trouble.
Yeah.
Possibly somebody in this chat right now is thinking, yeah, I'm going to call and do that. Who knows?
If people want to call and say, Christian, you're a stupid idiot, or you're a poser, like you don't know anything about horror movies. Like I would welcome that. I'd laugh at that, right?
Yeah. People just want to be
like I'm self-deprecating. I think that's a healthy trait for everybody to have. You got to make fun of yourself. We all have things we don't like about ourselves. Why not make fun? I'm totally cool with that. But like, you don't disrespect my viewers. You just don't do it. You don't do it. I know, Scratch Burno, but even if it was, I can't delay it. Can't do it, Scratch. I wish there was a way. Can't do it. Anyway, we have 105 people in here, guys. If you want to do me a favor, please drop a like on the show for me. I'd really appreciate it. And let's end the last 10 minutes on the show. Ask questions. It could be about anything. Ask us questions. We're going to end the show there. And make them ask whatever you want. Let's make it fun and make you guys a part of the show. And we'll go from there. So it's been a fun night. It's great to get back to work, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Now
I just have the urge to go and watch all these anthology films.
Ty Lisa's, any predictions or things you want to see from Trick or Treat 2? Go ahead, Brandon.
I kind of don't want Trick or Treat 2.
Agreed. But I do, but I don't.
Exactly. I do, but I don't.
But I do. I really do, but then I really don't.
I want another full wraparound kind of thing where it's still, that movie's an anthology, but it's really a big, just overlapping story, sort of like Parenthood or Magnolia in that sense. Like, it's not a bunch of self-contained stories. It's all happening in the same town on the same night. So it's sort of anthology, but sort of not. But I guess it counts. I would want that again. Different town, different characters. I would want a totally new look for Sam. I know his look is iconic, but put him in a green outfit this time. Make his burlap sack a little bit darker or grungy. I want different versions of him every time. Like Jason Voorhees has drastically different looks. I would want Sam to look drastically different. Still similar, so you can tell it's him, but drastically different. I would also want a different tone. There's a whimsical nature to the first film. I would want them to go full on metal in the second film or full on comedy or something. I want it to be night and day difference from Trick or Treat 1 to Trick or Treat 2. If they did a part 2, I'm not going to get that wish, obviously, because they're not going to do that, but that's what I would want. You know what I mean?
I what if he goes really bold with this and doesn't even have Sam in it?
I think that would be, I don't know, man, that might be a mistake. Because people want Sam. Like, it blows my mind.
He's got to, right?
That's a 2007 movie, basically, right? It didn't really have a big theatrical
2007, 2009.
Yeah.
For most people, 2009.
Right. Super limited theatrical, I think, or did it not even have theatrical at all?
Well, I think it did Nick's really good at knowing all this crap, but
yeah.
I think it came out in 2007 for like some kind of festival thing, right? And then Warner basically pulled the plug on releasing it in the theaters because they were like, how do we market an anthology movie in 2007, 2008? And so it just came out on VOD and like DVD in 2009. That's what I think happened.
I feel like that's where most people know it from, is that 2009 home media release. So when I started seeing the property pop up here and there at Halloween Horror Nights over the years and seeing more and more people talk about it, and then like the last 5, 6, 7 years, it's become a house at Halloween Horror Nights. You see it. It's a big section in Spirit Halloween stores. Like, I've never seen basically predominantly a straight-to-video property become such a cult juggernaut. Like, that's insane to me.
It's remarkable.
Like, it's fucking huge now. I can't believe how big Trick or Treat has become.
You have to give it to Trick or Treat. You have to.
Yeah.
Because that's it's gonna last like Halloween, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of taken over in terms of like the actual holiday now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like the new thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to Spirit Halloween, dude, it's, we got a super chat. I'm gonna get to that. Do you remember in 1997 when Taco Bell and all that started doing Star Wars toys and stuff? Mm-hmm. And there was no Star Wars stuff coming. They had the books and stuff coming up. There was no Star Wars movie or anything. Lucas was kind of testing the water to see if the time was right to bring Star Wars back. And like Taco Bell numbers were like through the roof for those kids to me, like, because everybody was trying to get the toys,
Right.
and he was basically what do you call it?
Field
Testing the
testing?
waters, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the Trick or Treat property was doing over the last couple of years. You know what I mean? With Spirit, and the numbers don't lie.
It's crazy. I feel like a lot of people, like, there's so much, and props to the filmmakers of Trick or Treat. I'm not sure if they had, the foresight for this, but there's so much mineable visual content in that film that just lends itself to merchandise. The way the pumpkins look, Sam himself, like everything in that movie is a mineable, like you want that in your house.
And they've done that, the kids, like the misfit kids on the bus.
Yes,
we own a couple masks of those kids, like the little Dracula. We have it on the wall.
Yeah, the flaming pumpkin, the fucking lollipop, like everything in that movie screams merchandise. It's insane. That's fucking insane.
Gauging interest is what they call it, I believe. Yeah. Antonis Andriatis gives us a $4.99 super chat. He says, "What do you think the Exorcist 2023 When do you think the Exorcist 2023 teaser trailer will come out? And also any plans for Easter this upcoming Sunday?" Brandon, you want to go first? Go ahead.
I have no idea regarding the Exorcist trailer. I keep forgetting that movie is even like a thing happening. I have no interest in it whatsoever. So there's me on that front. And Easter, we're just going to do a Easter egg hunt in the morning, go to brunch, do an Easter lunch at Shanda's parents' house, do a second Easter egg hunt, come back here for Easter dinner. It should be a good time. I'll watch Steel Magnolias a couple times. That's my Easter tradition. I really wanted to release Cottontail in 4K on Easter, but I didn't get around to doing any of those films yet, so I'll get to it later, sooner or later.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's my Easter. It's pretty packed schedule that day.
Let me just show a picture of this. So I was little, but I remember this because I see some people talking about this, and then we'll get to some more questions. This is what I'm talking about. I remember we had this cup, the Star Wars toys in '97, right?
Wow, look at that.
I remember getting some of this stuff, and I think there was probably Star Wars merchandise heavy around that time too. And then of course, look, during the movie, Episode 1 stuff was everywhere. There's a video on this, guys. Go look this up. Star Wars Trilogy. I remember all this stuff as a kid.
Yeah.
Anyway, make sure I didn't skip any other super chats. We got Branson Wright Wolf with a $2 super chat. Thank you. Oh, wait up. We got to do this. This is for Antonis.
This is fucking fantastic.
Thank you, Antonis. And this is for Bronson Wright Wolf.
With all these nicknames, everyone that I accumulate like 3 pounds of fat.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna release a entire video like that.
Little Nicky versus Sammy Kerr. What do you think, dude? That's actually a pretty good battle. Feel the good, dude. Little Nicky is low key the best Adam Sandler movie.
It is. The fact that that's Tarantino in that fucking movie as the preacher guy. I never realized, like I guess I subliminally knew, but I never knew for sure until the last time I watched it. It made that movie so much more funny to me.
I love how it's so funny because you got all these churchgoers, right? And one of the brothers invades like the body of the priest or whatever. And all these people that were churchgoers and had all this, I'm not getting religious per se. I'm just in the context of the movie. All these people that they've been churchgoers, you could tell they're for the majority of their lives, it looks like. Within 5 minutes, this preacher basically saying, screw all this crap. Jesus never put a Rolls Royce in my driveway. Do you think? Go crazy. And everybody just starts breaking the law within dude, Little Nicky is low key. You remember when they're fighting in the little flask? Get in the flask. And the flask, they're in the flask, and the flask, they're fighting. You hear them punch it. The flask is going boink, It's coming up and down off the ground.
Yeah.
Feel the good. Popeye's chicken is the shit.
I'm surprised there was never a sequel to that movie, man.
Patricia Arquette was in that. She probably said no. Patricia doesn't do sequels. We know this. Have you ever considered having the original Hellraiser cast members as a guest on the show? Villains09, if you've been keeping up with the You Need a Horror podcast, we actually just talked about that. Nick got in contact with somebody close to her name's slipping me now, Ashley Lawrence. So Nick is working that out as we speak, as a matter of fact. So I'm super excited about that. We're touch and go right now. Clint Howard's in it too, and little Nicky catches him rubbing the nipples. All right, let me scroll back up because there's a lot of questions. Let me scroll back up, try to find some of them. Michael Sullivan asked, I'll let you answer this, Brandon. How did you meet each other?
You reached out to me about doing the show last year. Or not the show, it was the interview. But you had been commenting on my channel.
Had you heard of me before that?
I think so. I think I had run into your channel a few times. But that was still in the point where Tabata Vision, like, it had been around for a couple of years, but I wasn't really doing much besides remasters and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I wasn't really watching a lot of other content. I was still mostly on my other channel at the time. And my whole algorithm was already destroyed by my kid at that point with kid shows and stuff. So I never really sought out or came across horror content. You know what I mean?
Right.
Until Tabata Vision started taking off and you got in contact with me and stuff. So
if you guys want to go back to the channel, I interviewed Brandon. God, I guess it's close to a year now. And I don't ever typically just interview just YouTubers. Some bigger ones for you need it and stuff, but like that was out of character for me. I feel to just interview, I just want to interview you. I want to talk to you. So just one of those things that happened, guys.
That was fun. Nerve-wracking, but fun.
Antonis with another $5 super chat. Would you ever have Brett? Thank you, Antonis. Would you ever have Brad Dourif on You Need a Horror podcast? He's my favorite horror actor. Well, of course I would. And to that I say,
make it with just the kernels, add your salt in there after it's finished, and instead of shaking it up with that popcorn butter oil stuff you're talking about, use some grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil and salt, it'll change your life. I swear to Christ.
Brandon already answered his. Christian, what movie do you watch on Easter? Remind me what you said, Brandon.
Steel Magnolias. Twice.
You know what I legitimately watch on Easter a lot? RoboCop. For no in particular reason other than I just did it one year and then I felt compelled to do it again. Like a personal tradition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing to do with the holiday.
Break. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. That's a good choice. That's a really random good choice, actually.
Dude, I think that's one of the greatest movies ever made. Yeah. Pound for pound, RoboCop is perfect. It's got everything. I swear to Christ.
Dude, I agree with Big Crack Rock up here. Like, you really need to get Revelations Pinhead on Unita. That would be the best interview of all time.
I can't, though. I mean, I could, but I'd feel like I'd have to do a troll interview.
Dude, the chat would be wild on that. You'd have to turn the chat off. Oh, I guess, well, it would be live anyway, but still, man.
But like, that's the thing. Like, I usually make my interview. Look, I make my interview. I think the audience can understand this. I usually make my interviews non-live, right? Because as much as the super chats are really appreciative and I want to make sure I answer those questions, I
Yeah.
have a map in my mind of where I want to go with an interview, right? And I'm limited on time with people, so I always want to make sure I get to that roadmap. Like with Daniel Farrens, I wanted to cover, and I thought, it was one of the better interviews that UNITA has done with Daniel Farrens, and I wanted to talk about the drama, the behind the scenes stuff, and so a lot of times I tell you what, if I get Fat Pinhead on the show, it's going to be live. And whatever super chat questions you guys want to ask, I'll ask it. I don't care. I'll burn that bridge. Guys, I'm going to be doing a video on this tomorrow on my channel. Look at that.
That's so sick. Yeah, that's killer.
We got a 99-cent super sticker from Antonis again. Thank you, Antonis.
So it's not good. It's really gross. That was the best one. That was such a curveball.
We got a $5 from Bronson, right? Well, thank you so much, dude. If you listen to Ozzy Osbourne, what is your favorite song of his to listen to on Halloween? That's a great question. Well, first off, I should probably say what my favorite Ozzy record is. No More Tears from '91. Yeah. I think is a mash. I think his most underrated record is the previous one, which is the first record with Zakk Wylde, and Geezer Butler was the bass player on that, which is amazing for me. As a fan of Wicked. There's some great songs in that '88 record.
Let me see.
Fire in the Sky. Fire.
No Rest for the Wicked.
No Rest for the Wicked.
Mm.
But No More Tears, I think, is one of the greatest albums of that genre. My favorite guitar player is Jakey Lee, but my favorite record is No More Tears. Song for song, I think every song, the production, that was the heartbeat before the hair metal stuff kind of died, and I feel like that was that record that encapsulated the culmination of that kind of production style and everything like that, and the guitar work. Mm-hmm. There's so many good songs on No More Tears. I'm trying to think of. I
don't mean this in a bad way, but do you think it's the most mainstream Ozzy record, like the most revered record of his?
I think it is. I think it is, but for good reason. It's got the best song. I really think it's got the best song she's ever done. Like, I think one of the best, like, don't get me wrong, the Jakey Lee records have some lifelong hits. Shot in the Dark is going nowhere. You'll be hearing that forever. Of course, the previous record, Bark at the Moon, is a phenomenal album. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal album. Blizzard of Oz is good too. I mean, but I think I in my humble opinion, I think that No More Tears is the best collection of songs on a record. Mm-hmm. Actually, the one after that too, I think it's called, is it Osmosis?
It is.
From 94? 94, 95? I think that's actually a good record. I do. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good record. Mr. Bungle. Yeah. So, but to answer the question, what is my favorite song to listen to on Halloween? Bark at the Moon. Bark at the Moon. Bark at the Moon. That's a killer song of playing guitar too. I can do it, but it took me a while because it's like, there's like 7 ways you can go on YouTube and listen to the way people play it, But I finally found a video of Jakey Lee like showing how to play it or something. It's a difficult song to play. I will say though, I don't think this is up for debate, but I'll respect if you people don't agree with me. Ozzy and Lemmy kind of co-wrote the song Hellraiser. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt in my mind, 0 doubt in my mind, the Motorhead version is the best version of Hellraiser. The production on the Motorhead version is way more gritty and rough. And Lemmy's voice is, I'm living on an endless road around the world for a rocket. That's a Lemmy song every day of the week. That's the motorcycle version of that song. They're both good versions, but to me, there's no doubt in my mind the Motorhead version. And I'm a diehard Motorhead fan. I get pissed off when people only talk about Ace of Spades. I mean, my favorite Motorhead record is 1916. I don't know if you're familiar with that record from 91. I want to say that Motorhead was nominated for a Grammy for that record.
Wow.
They have some great songs. I'm so bad, baby, I don't care. God damn it, I'm a Motorhead fan. Motorhead had some great hits, Brandon. I mean, and Lemmy doesn't like to be called a metal band. He says, I'm a rock and roll band. We're rock and roll. But I do agree with Fight the Good Fight. That Ronnie James Dio is one of the greatest frontmen of all time, without question. And I really like Dehumanizer, the 92 Black Sabbath record, where they reconvene for a small moment in time. And Dehumanizer is a killer Black Sabbath record. The whole record, Brandon, is anti-technology in a sense. It's talking about how the computer world and everything, because that's what Ronnie was into at the time. He was like, "Wow, where's all these computers coming from? Why are It's actually a really good Sabbath record." And they had a song. I forget the name of the song. It's playing in my head, but they had a song on the Wayne's World soundtrack.
Right.
Somebody in the chat probably knows, but yeah, Dehumanizer is a great. I mean, I think the best Sabbath record of all time. Nobody's gonna agree with it. Actually, I shouldn't say all time. I love those records. I forget the singers' names. Glenn Hughes, maybe. I love the 86 and the 87 record. They have such amazing songs. The Shining, good God. I love those records. I covered one. I covered one from the 86 record. The Danger Zone, which was from the 86 record. People don't listen to those records, but they're amazing records. I think they got the best singers besides Dio. I mean, I never saw Ozzy as a great, great singer. I think he just has a really, he's not, it's kind of, I don't know, like Ronnie had vibrato, he had power, he had range. Ronnie was that battalion, flag bearing singer that was like a warrior. He almost sounded like some kind of, where Ozzy just had like this really charm. Like Ozzy's a blues singer, but Ronnie had, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Ronnie was. Do you listen to Rainbow ever? You remember that's where he got his start, was Rainbow with Richie Blackmore, my favorite guitar player. Greatest guitar player ever. Walk God's green earth. One of them. Not the best, but dude. I could get on a tangent in this, so I'm sorry. Let's do a couple more questions. But yes, guys, I'm into all that. I love Motorhead. Waldo asks, are you into heavier stuff as thrash and death metal or just heavy metal? It depends. I listened to some Orange County hardcore stuff that was really popular in the 2000s and late 90s. And like there's a band called Bleeding Through that my brother raised me on. Brandon, I got to show you this, man. You'd love them. But they were like gothic hardcore. They incorporated keyboards to their music and very moody band. Brandon Chipetti, the singer, has a gym in Orange County. He's just so fucking tough. This band is so good. There's a band called Annihilator I like a lot. Throwdown, Bury Your Dead. Brandon, I'll tell you a funny story. Have you heard of Bury Your Dead?
Not off the top of my head, no. I'm sure I've heard the name at some point, but
yeah, so Bury Your Dead was, again, they're still around. it's funny. They went through dude. I think the two best records for anybody that's a fan of Bury Your Dead, they'll probably tell you as well. Bury Your Dead was this hardcore band, had some great records. House of Straw was one of these really popular songs that was on Headbangers Ball. People know what I'm talking about if they know that song. Justin Smith is a fan. Yeah, he's talking about the record before, I believe, where they have a record, Brandon. I forget the name of the record, but every song on the record is a Tom Cruise movie. The name of the songs is Tom Cruise. I'm not kidding. There's Mission Impossible. There's damn it. What's the name of that record? It's a great record. Bury Your Dead was a great band. This is one of those weird things in hardcore history. Okay, so the record is from 2004. It's called Cover Your Tracks. Here's the track listing, and you're going to go listen to this record. Top Gun, Vanilla Sky, Mission Impossible, Eyes Wide Shut, Magnolia, The Outsiders, Mission Impossible 2, The Color of Money, Risky Business, Legend, All the Right Moves, and Losing It. I don't know if Losing It is the name of a Tom Cruise movie, but that's the craziest song on the record. It's like the small outro song, but they're a great band. But yeah, I don't want to get on too much of a tangent. Like I said, I'll one more music question. Do you like Atreyu? Brandon, please tell me you know who Atreyu is or listen. And I'm not talking about the dog.
I do know who Atreyu is. I can't say I've ever been a fan because I couldn't name you one song or. Yeah, I can't name you a song they did, but I remember them being pretty big and popular, at least in this area.
Dude, they almost have a gold record. It's funny because they always tell people to go back and buy The Curse again. They had their moment. They're still going. Great, talented band. They had some killer records. The Curse is a masterpiece of that genre. The Curse is this gothic, moody, emotional. God damn it. I need to listen to this stuff again. There's the song. First off, Right Side of the Bed is a hit. You've heard Right Side of the Bed before. It was a big hit. You sit and come outside to them. I forget the words, but dude.
I'm going to look it up right now and have it on play when I get off this.
Dude, The Curse is a masterpiece record. And then they had Lead Sails and Paper Anchors, I believe, came out in like 2007 or 8. Because I remember Saw 4 was out at the time, and I just remember looking at images from Saw 4 on Google before I saw it in theaters and listening to that record all the time. All the time. It was amazing. That was a great time in my life. You know?
Mm-hmm.
The Bella Twins are in the Right Side of the Bed music video? Holy shit. What the hell? Anyway, guys, let me look at a few more questions. If you have any more questions, we're at 2 hours, so we're gonna wrap it up. We had a great show tonight, a lot of fun. Let me look through the comments and find a question. Let me find something that's not music related because I feel like I wore out my audience on that and Brandon.
No, you didn't wear me out. I'm thinking about my Tabata Tunes channel, and the other day I posted a short just listing my top 10 Kiss records, and obviously most of the top 10 is made up of the non-makeup era because I just love it. And you know my love for Crazy Nights, and there's just so many comments from people saying you like Crazy Nights the best, and you can tell what era you grew up in. It's like so many negative comments. I mean, people fucking hate that record, man.
Well,
people hate that record.
I'm also a bigger Hagar guy, you know.
Yeah.
Than the Roth. I don't know. And if everybody's got any more questions, drop it like it's hot. We'll take one more. I'm trying to scroll up to the comments, but we've gone through the gambit. God, I'm gonna have to go look up the Bella twins. And this is news to me. You know, this is news to me. I love Nicky Bella. But yeah, I'm gonna be jamming my Stacy Q tonight, dude. This is a great record, Brandon. Go check this out. It's not heavy. It's good stuff. I love. Look at this woman. She's great. She's great. It's a great record.
You know what we missed?
Bring it up.
We didn't talk about the Willies or the Twilight Zone. Not that we should right now. I'm just saying we fucking missed it.
Well, you know,
We screwed
Twilight.
up.
I kind of want to own the Twilight Zone, but I think because of what happened on the
Mm.
movie, it's kind of difficult.
Weird. Yeah.
You know. The Willies too. That I call him the Willie monster.
The toilet guy.
All right, before we go, we're talking about what Akeem just brought up. Actually, let's just bring it up. The Willies is great. Check it out. It's got Sean Astin in it.
And James Karen.
And Clu Gulager.
That's true.
You know why? You know who directed it?
Who?
Brian Peck. That son of a bitch.
Did he really? He directed the Willies? Oof.
Yeah. Because and you know, I think that's another reason why that movie's kind of hidden. Because of what he did, that son of a bitch. There's a really creepy video of a young Leonardo DiCaprio talking like on the set of some kid show with Brian Peck, and Leo's really handsy with him. It's actually quite disturbing, if I'm being honest with you.
That's freaky.
Which gives me something I don't want to think about.
Yeah.
So guys, the Empire of Screams box set. Let's talk about this for a second. I remember Brandon, do you remember my message I sent to you?
I do, yeah.
Can you let the people kind of know in a nutshell what I said to you about the Empire of Screams box set?
He was very abrasive and hurtful. And he basically said if I don't buy this box set, he's going to come into my house and kill me. So basically you said if you don't buy this box set, you're a fucking moron and you're not even a human being. And
you know, here's the thing. I'm not actually in love with the box art itself. I feel like it's a little Fisher Price look, you know, but I get what they're going for.
It's the novelty of it, right?
Right. They're making it look like a video store.
Mm.
But I think this is a home run release. I really do, because if you look at the titles, you've got Arena, Dolls, Cellar Dweller. I forgot what else is in here. Dungeon Master, and damn it, what else is in here? Okay, let me pull up the see if I got this pulled up. This is the let's go to Diabolic. It's 5 movies in here, and the price is right, $64.99. Dungeon Master, Dolls, Cellar Dweller, Arena, and Robot Jocks. Now, Brandon, which movies of these have you seen or not seen?
Out of this entire box set, the only one I can confirm that I've seen is Dolls.
Well, I can tell you right now, the sleeper of this box set is Arena. Arena's really good. Robot Jocks is also really good. I want to say that's Stuart Gordon. Let me double check because I have a DVD of it. I have a Blu-ray of it.
Sam Thomason. I thought on the website it was $65. I didn't think it was $100. I think on the actual website it is $60 or something like that.
Okay, that is in fact Stuart Gordon.
Nice.
So Robot Jocks is a great movie. It's stop motion, big robot monsters fighting. It's like a fighting movie, right? And people are in robots, and it's cool stop motion. You know, really fun movie. Robot Wars is good too, and Barbara Crampton's in that.
Here's my question real quick about this release. Like, I'm looking at the contents at the bottom of your screen. It's saying 1080p presentations. This is not a 4K box set, I'm assuming.
No, but they are 2K scans. So they're 2K scans from the negatives, which is going to be good. Honestly, this is the right way to go. this is plenty good for these movies. This is plenty good for video and audio for these movies. We don't necessarily need 4Ks of these titles. I don't think it's necessary. I think this is a perfect I think 2K scans are quite underrated in the sense of really they're good enough for a lot of these titles. I really do think so. You know. But anyway, Arena is going to be the big sleeper hit for people.
Mhm.
Cellar Dweller has some of the best Carl Buechler designs he's ever done. And it's also kind of a hidden title. Cellar Dweller is really good. It's about this girl who goes to work at this like dungeon to work on comics. She's an artist, and she taps into this ancient thing that was done by Jeffrey Combs has a small role in the movie, right? And she unlocks the Cellar Dweller monster, and it's this giant beast with a upside down triangle star, like what is that? The pentagram on his chest. It's this beast with a bloody pentagram on his chest, and it's gigantic. It's a monster, and it looks really good. So I'm excited to see this on 2K. I really am. Of course, Dolls is Dolls, right? A lot of people know Dolls. And Dungeon Master is a great movie. Guess who's in Dungeon Master, Brandon?
Who?
Wasp.
Oh,
The
yeah, that's
band.
right. You mentioned that. That's right.
The band is playing in Dungeon Master. I mean,
That's
how
pretty damn cool.
how are you not excited about that?
It's cool. It's a cool box set. It's just weird that I haven't seen these movies. At least I don't remember seeing these movies. You know what I mean? I might have seen them before and forgot, but
I mean, it's just like it's a home run for a number of ways. Like, look, Arrow is doing this absolutely right because look at it like this. Okay, here. Oh, look at the box set. I never noticed that, so I pulled it up. Look at that. That's the Arena. You see that, Brandon? Look, the artwork actually has stuff from the movies on here.
yeah,
Look,
I see
okay, you see, because everybody's seeing this. I'm zoomed in.
yep.
You know, okay, so I never noticed this. So I just look at that. You've got the parents from Dolls on the left.
Yep. Yeah,
You've
Mr.
got-
Punch down there.
Yeah. You've got the Arena stuff. You've got the Dungeon Master. You got the Cellar Dweller. Look at the back inside the store.
Yep.
The Cellar Dweller.
You got the teddy bear from Dolls.
This is okay. So I never realized it was the characters from there. That's cool. Okay, so but here's the thing, Brent. Like, this is the way to do this, right? Because Arrow is aware that Scream Factory has put these on Blu-ray. They needed to do a few things to make people want to repurchase this, and I think they succeeded. I really do. They made it a good price point, right?
Mm.
You really can't beat that price. They upscaled the movies, you know, significantly enough, right? And they're giving us new artwork, and I'd say that the new artwork on those are all pretty damn good. Honestly, I think the winner on the boxes is actually Dungeon Master. I think that has the best art out of all of them. I'm a little upset with the Dolls one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that one's
Maybe
kinda,
well, hold on, maybe not. Let me zoom in. Yeah, I'm a little upset with that. But look at Dungeon Masters. Look at Blackie Lawless is on the cover. That's him. That's Blackie.
That's funny.
Blackie Lawless is on the cover. Holy shit. Cellar Dweller's a home run too. Look at Cellar Dweller. There it is. Look, he's got the pentagram on his chest.
Yep.
Robot
See, that one
Jocks.
does look so familiar though.
Dude, it's so good. Arena's got good artwork. I dig it. Robot Jocks look like it's some kind of like Disney movie.
Yeah.
Like Optimus Prime or something. But I assure you it's a good movie. But dude, Dungeon Master's killing me. I love Dungeon Master so much, dude. This is going to be release of the year to me. I mean, I really am so excited. I love these movies. I talk about Charles Band way too much on my channel, but I'm a huge fan, and the fans need this. I mean, this is the video store box set. I mean, it truly is. Like, it's not like a joke, like, because these movies were all, that's how you saw them.
Mm.
I mean, they went to theaters, but very small. It was small. 800 screens in the country. Like, odds are nobody saw these.
Right.
You know, I mean, in a perfect world, Brandon, we would have gotten Ghoulies 1 and 2 in this.
Oh man.
You know, but you know, those titles are licensed out accordingly. You know, these are titles that MGM says, hey, we'll license these out to you, but you've got to do it. We learned this from the Halloween box set, right? We learned that sometimes the licenses are as strict as we can allow you to release Halloween 5, Halloween 6, 7, 8, but they have to be sold as a package deal. That's the rules. So I think we're looking at the same situation here.
So you think there's going to be more of these Arrow box sets like this in the future with more titles?
Not necessarily Empire titles, but
yeah,
we're seeing these kinds of licenses happen, right? These kinds of package licenses. I think most of these were prior Bog Zombie. I don't know about Arena. But Cellar Dweller was a double feature with Catacombs. Dungeon Master was a double feature with the Eliminators, I think. But I'm telling people, you know, I'm just one guy, but I really think these are all good titles. Like, there's not a dud in this collection, in my opinion. In terms of what these are Empire straight to video rental store horror films. This is a good collection of Empire titles. I mean, it really is. And I'm so excited for people to check out Arena.
Yeah, I may have to pick this up.
Oh, you have to, Brandon.
I just have to pull the trigger.
I mean, just look at the box on it. I mean, it comes in a video store box. It's like a video store. You know, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, just to see if it hits Amazon.
Well, somebody in the chat just said it was on Amazon for $100. I'm like, that seems way higher than what it's on the website for.
Well, this is what happens, Brandon. Stuff hits Amazon, and then literally as you get closer, the price regulates itself down.
Right.
You know, I think they do that to see the demand, and then once they do that, it'll be fine. It's not going to be $100 on Amazon. I promise people. If you want to get it on Amazon, just wait a few more days. It's not going to be $100 on Amazon. They always pull this shit. I mean, every time I pre-ordered a 4K from Amazon, like I remember when I pre-ordered Exorcist 3 on Amazon, like it was probably like $40, and then before it shipped, it got down to the retail price. It always happens. But this comes out, I think. Let me see. We're on Diabolic right now, and then we'll wrap up. Great show tonight, everybody. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us.
It was fun.
I dig we get all the posters and stuff for this too. Let me Google this. Let's see. June
26th.
So we got to wait. So guys, don't worry about pre-ordering anything this very moment. You're fine. You know, we got a while. So,
Dude,
yeah.
Off topic real quick, and then I'll shut up. You mentioned Ghoulies. I hope that this year we get a Vinegar Syndrome release of Ghoulies 4. That's the weird release I want Vinegar Syndrome to do. Vinegar Syndrome.
The Jim Wynorski Ghoulies?
I guess it's such a weird entry, man. I love that movie. You know what I mean?
Every Jim Wynorski movie is good.
Yeah, with Jonathan Graves as the cop. Like, that's such a crazy ass movie.
They're not exactly Ghoulies.
They're not, but that movie is so good. I love that movie. That's the weird box set I want them to release. It's Ghoulies 4.
Yeah, well, you that Spanish box set with 1, 2, and 3 is actually a
Hmm.
damn good set.
I still haven't I've opened it up, but I still haven't watched them. Like, are there good special features on there and stuff, or is it just kind of bare bones?
Fairly bare bones. I don't
Yeah, that's
recall.
fine. That's
I don't
fine.
recall. But the picture
Do you
quality
think
is good on them.
do you think that'll prevent a North American release with a bunch of PAX features and stuff? Because that trilogia just came out, I think, last year. I think it's a new thing. I wonder if that'll prevent any kind of, other release of them.
Licensing is different in different territories.
Yeah.
That's why Dawn of the Dead was able to come out overseas and not in America, because the guy that owns the distribution rights for it in America is like super greedy apparently and wants a shit ton of money, which is why we haven't gotten a Dawn of the Dead 4K in America. But overseas, the distributors for the movie are a lot more lenient.
Yeah.
So it happened, which is, why you need to be region free or, be in 4K, because 4K is a region free format. So that kind of thing.
Summertime Blues, Ghoulies 4 was 94, I believe. Straight to video, obviously.
You don't say.
Crackhead movie.
So yeah, guys, remember, Unita candles, 15% off sale from an early birthday. We've got the Universal Monsters, and these all look and smell amazing. They all got really cool designs on the back. God damn it. My personal favorite is the Wolfman scent. Smells really good. So if you've never ordered before, now's the time. Go on the site, place your order, and get them cheaper. They ship immediately. Typically, we ship out if you order it at night, we package you up and we'll have you ready to ship out the next morning. So no wait time. You order it, they ship. But I want to say thank you for hanging out with us, guys. I know it was this last minute show, but we had a rowdy crowd tonight.
Yeah.
Super happy about that. And be ready. I've got a video on my Freddy hand tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow's video, guys. Super excited to film that video. It's a really cool piece, by the way. So we thank you. Have a great night. Stay safe. We love you.